Thanks for I don't know what I do. That's what I was thank you. All right, thank you. I'll see you Monday.
Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the Putnam County Legislature this evening in the historic courthouse, Wednesday, November 5th. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Legislature, please lead us.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing and I'll ask Legislator Russo to lead us in legislative prayer.
We gather to make decisions for our community. May we use only our best skills and judgment, keeping ourselves impartial and neutral, and always act in accordance with what's best for our community and our fellow citizens. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, roll call please.
District 1, Legislator Montgomery.
Here.
District 2, Legislator Wolf.
Present.
District 5, Legislator Elner.
Here.
District 6, Legislator Yonke.
Present.
District 7, Legislator Birmingham. District 9, Legislator Crowley.
Present.
District 8, Chairwoman Sayegh.
Present. This evening we represent the National Runaway Prevention Month.
Hi, do we have Kimberly Merludo, the Deputy Director of Putnam County Youth, and Aaron Lamont? Hi, thanks for coming out for this. Thank you. November has been designated as National Runaway Prevention Month to raise awareness of the issues facing runaway and home solutions and the role they can play in ending youth homelessness. The prevalence of runaway and homelessness among youth is staggering, with studies suggesting that every year 4.2 million people ages 13 to 25 endure some form of homelessness. And whereas children and youth who run away are increased danger for falling into high-risk situations, including human trafficking, safe and stable homes succeed because of partnerships created among families, youth-based advocacy organizations, community-based human service organizations, law enforcement, here, schools, faith-based organizations, and businesses, and us. The Putnam County Executive and the Legislature do hereby proclaim November 20 to increase public awareness, advocate on behalf, and provide positive and safe alternatives to runaway and homeless youth and their families. Thank you. You guys want to say a couple words?
I just want to thank the Legislature and the Putnam County Executive and Green Chimneys who provide this service to the youth of Putnam County as well as our bordering counties as well. It's a great service to provide this to the youth of our community. So thank you all.
Aaron, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank
for your
you.
work.
Next, I'd like to call on Legislator Crowley to present Small Business Recognition Month, November 2025.
Can I call up Bill Milk, Nick D'Andrea, Christine Cohn, Paula, anyone else from any other chambers? Please come on up. Guys. It's a big crowd. Wow, you do a good job. Matt, I didn't see Sarah.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, guys. All right, well, Small Business Recognition Month is November 2025. Whereas small businesses constitutes the single most important segment of our free enterprise system, And where small business people are the backbone of our economy, and whereas a successful small business is evidence of independence, initiative, and hard work of the owner, operator, and the spirit has been and will continue to play important roles in maintaining and improving the vitality of our community. Whereas the assistance of Putnam County Business Council and local chambers of commerce, small business people provide a variety of services, both business and social, to the community and at large. There be it resolved that the Putnam County Executive and Putnam County Legislature do hereby proclaim November 2025 as Small Business Recognition Month. We urge all citizens to join them in recognizing the contributions small businesses make to county-wide development and shop Small Business Month to provide our local small businesses so they can remain vital and flourish in Putnam County. Guys, you guys are amazing. You do wonderful things. We have so many leaders from so many different towns. So I'm going to call on each one of you to say a few words. I'll go with Nat first.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. So my name is Nat Prentice. I'm representing the Cold Spring Chamber of Commerce. And if there's ever a time that all of us need to be supporting small businesses right now, they've got all kinds of cost issues and people worried about the future. So if we can be consumers as well as leaders of organizations, all the better.
I'm Dawn Ruggiero with the Brewster Chamber of Commerce. There's a bunch of us, so I'm going to default to Paula, who's our Executive Director, and let her speak on our behalf.
Thank you. Paula Hernandez, Executive Director of Brewster Chamber, and I just want to thank our county executive and our county and our legislators for this wonderful celebration of a very important aspect of our economy here in Putnam County. So thank you. Steve?
I'm Christine.
No,
We're I'm Christine McCone with the Manpack Carmel Chamber of Commerce, and I'd also like to thank Legislative and also County Executive Byrne. And please support small business always. They are the heart of our town, our county. And we love going around at the end of the month on Small Business Saturday to represent all the businesses. And we have a trolley this year. I just got out today to go around with on Small Business Saturday. It's pretty awesome to join us. You're welcome too. Yeah, with the bus lane. We with the trolley this year.
Yes, I'm Nick D'Andrea, representing the Putnam County Business Council. And again, just to thank the legislative staff and Kevin Byrne for getting this done for us and recognize the fact that small businesses in this county and statewide and nationwide really are the backbone of our economy, and the importance of shopping local can never be forgotten. So thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Henry Boyd. I'm the chairperson for the Carmel Chamber. Small business, I've been a small business for 55 years in Putnam, and it's a great place to do business. That's all I can say.
Last but not least, Mr. Bill.
Certainly not. Please, I want to thank again the legislature and the county executive, Putnam County, for supporting small business. And just to remind people that, yes, you can get everything nowadays, seems like that, through the internet. But if you run and really feel what it looks like and see what it looks like when you're making your decisions, there's nothing better than walking into the store and seeing it there. And if you don't see it or they can't get it right away for you, they can get it for you real quick. So don't hesitate to see your local shops.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to call on Legislator Yonke to present a supporting Operation Green Light.
See, we have Carl Brody, our Director of Putnam County Veteran Service Agency. Megan Castellano, our Executive Program Director at the Dwyer Vet. Todd here. Todd Doris is our Program Coordinator of the Dwyer Vet to Vet. Nice to meet you. Supporting Operation Greenlight. Whereas the residents of Putnam County have great respect, admiration, and the utmost gratitude for all the men and women who have selflessly served their country and this community in the armed forces, and the contributions and sacrifices of the men and women that served in the armed forces have been vital in maintaining the freedoms and way of life enjoyed by our citizens. Putnam County seeks to honor these individuals who have paid the high price of freedom by placing themselves in harm's way for the good of all. Veterans continue to serve their community through local organizations, church groups, and civil service. And Putnam County appreciates the sacrifices our United States military personnel made while defending freedom and believes specific recognition be accorded them in appreciation of their service and to demonstrate the honor and support they have earned. Now be it resolved, as we approach Veterans Day in 2025, the Putnam County Legislature and County Executive hereby proclaim that Putnam County recognizes Operation Greenlight and encourages its citizens and businesses to honoring those whose immeasurable sacrifice helped preserve our freedom by displaying a green light in a window of their place of business or residence. I'll give that to you, Carl, and I'll let you explain Operation Greenlight. We do this every year.
Well, I think you explained it, that we want you to have a light, we have some lights here to give out, you know, prominently in your window, in a business or at home, to honor our veterans. Too often, I mean, and I'm just going to talk about Veterans Day real briefly. Very few people show up at Veterans Day anymore. We don't have big crowds. A lot of people take it as a day off. They don't come and see that. This is a way to remember veterans, but still come to Veterans Day. So we appreciate it because it's the way we have to honor our veterans and thank them for their service. I know a few veterans, so they like it.
I just want to echo what Legislator Yonke said about call to service, and just to remind everyone that a lot of our folks who serve in the military, when they've finished their military service, they take off that uniform and they put on another one, and they may continue to serve our community as first responders. So when you're doing this, you know, you're honoring those people who are our friends and our neighbors who have served and continue to serve. So I ask everyone here to, again, please shine your light bright and let them know that they're not forgotten and that their community cares about them. So I know Putnam County loves our veterans, so we appreciate you and the legislature and the county executive, as you said, for several years now, supporting Operation Greenlight with this proclamation. So thank you. Want to add anything?
I didn't even know I was doing. Thank you all for supporting us and stuff. Dwyer, I knew it at Dwyer for for Putnam and stuff. And yeah, as a veteran myself, being able to give back to my brothers and sisters, guide them into the programs and assistance they need. It takes all of us to help you guys. So thanks for supporting us.
We brought information about Dwyer for anyone who's not familiar. So.
Dwyer's a peer program because the
non-clinical peer.
The best help veteran have is another veteran helping. I mean, it's prime way to help our veterans. Dwyer is very big in that.
It's our honor.
Yes. And although Todd and I are veterans, just so you know, this young lady is an honorary, but she's also an honorary veteran. She was named an honorary veteran by the County Joint Veterans Council a few years ago.
Very high honor.
So she is an honorary veteran. So.
Thank you.
As is Eric Rose.
Number 4 on the agenda is acceptance of minutes. This is for the special full August 20th, 2025, special full meeting August 20th, 2025, special full meeting August 25th, 2025, budget and finance meeting October 1st, 2025, and public hearing meeting October 1st, 2025. Number 5 on the agenda is correspondence with the county auditor. There was no activity during this reporting period. Number 6 is our pre-filed resolution, and I would like to make a motion to go out of order on the agenda?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd also like to make a motion to accept other business discussing second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have other business here. This is an approval for a fund transfer for the legislature and the county executive to address food insecurity within Putnam County. I'll make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. So this evening we have before us a general contingency for $150,000 to be distributed to address food insecurity in Putnam County. We're trying to find the best way of getting this addressed with our SNAP recipients. And I will open it up for discussion if we want to call me. Legislator Delmer.
Thank you, Chairman Sayegh. I completely support this. However, I don't like the fact that this resolution sets 3 specific entities. We have a true expert in this, and that's Commissioner Sayegh, who runs DSS, and I would greatly prefer that we modify this so that the distribution will be at her discretion.
Can we call on Commissioner Sayegh to come out and maybe, she was in on these conversations with the county executive and we're not cooperative, United Way and other agencies, so let's ask for your input on this.
So we did start meeting to discuss this last week with the Finance Department and the County Executive's Office. Putnam County services approximately 3,000 individuals on SNAP benefits monthly, about 2,200 households. We're paying out about $600,000 a month. With no clear direction from the state on what's going on. So we have gotten some support from community members. We do have some individuals here, have Second Chance Foods, we have United Way. We've been having these conversations about the best way to get food to the people that are not receiving their SNAP benefits. So I think it's important to hear from the agencies represented here today. That would be okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think we've come to an agreement. My biggest concern from the beginning was getting the right food to the right people. So as the Social Services Commissioner, I have to think about the children and the adults on the autism spectrum that can't just walk into any food pantry and get food and eat. So those people, coupled with the so many children, school-age children we have receiving SNAP benefits, and also working with the Office for Senior Resources on the older population. So,
okay, so who would you?
I mean,
Maybe United Way.
Yeah, we kind of voted that I would go first.
okay.
Well, first off, good evening, thank you all. Faith Ann Butcher, I'm the Chief Impact Officer of United Way of Westchester and Putnam. And we run one of the many things that we do is we run the 211 hotline, and we are seeing an increase in calls for food insecurity in Putnam as we're going through this right now. And really, sometimes they just want answers, and as you know, it changes from day to day. So the best we can do is give them resources. But we need to remember as a community and as agencies that even when the government opens, it will still be 2 to 3 weeks at least until funds will be released. And at this point, we don't know which funds will be released and if they'll get November about them. So to start with that as the baseline, as well as the fact that of the almost 3,000 families, that are getting SNAP in Putnam, statistics show that only 30% of SNAP recipients typically go to food pantries. So, typically they get an EBT card that they go to the supermarket with. So that's also less money that's going into the supermarket. So there is a whole economic effect. As a former chairwoman of the Chamber of Commerce, I have to mention that we just had the small businesses here. But that is a real there's a dignity aspect to it too. Now, our food pantries do an incredible job. I'm just talking back there, United Way just gave $10,000 to the food bank of Hudson Valley, to the adopter programs, and one of the benefits were Putnam Cap, because they give 52% of the pounds that are given in Putnam County goes to Putnam Cap. Right, so, and the work that they do with the bountiful meals for Cornell Cooperative, you know, it is, and in partnership with Second Chance Foods, is absolutely incredible. So I'm sure you're actually asking what is my role in all this, and I get that. So United Way has typically run the Emergency Food and Shelter Program, which since the fiscal year 2024, the federal government has not released. So I have a history of granting awards to the local food pantries in a timely and efficient way, and I'm used to having to do the reporting and being able to track how many meals they're giving it to, who they're giving it to make sure that they're, you know, documented, and to have, you know, a process put in place. And really the thought process with United Way was, because we have an existing contract with the county through our 211 helpline, that we would be able to release funds before you would, for full disclosure. So that's my bit in a nutshell, and I'll take any questions you have.
I think the biggest concern is that it is not going to get to the SNAP recipients. We want to make sure that it is streamlined, and what's the most efficient and effective way to get directly to SNAP recipients, and I feel like it's...
So we've had this conversation, and I think that obviously I can't disclose those names to our providers, but even this week with Second Chance Foods, we were picking up and dropping off and doing a lot of that, which we are absolutely fine with doing. But we're gonna work together to make sure that the people on our SNAP list are the ones receiving the services.
Right, we can actually have clearance go through DSS and Auditor, because they have the list. If we decided to go with the gift card route, we can have them apply for a gift card, and then it can be approved by DSS to make sure that they're on the list and that they're the recipients to be able to get it. If we did something like that, what we would do is probably pick the 4 largest supermarkets in Putnam, Food Town for the west side of the county, Stop and Shop, Acme, and ShopRite, right? And being able to, based on the SNAP, you know, population, divvy it up, and this way they have also the, you know, having choice. Again, it's about dignity, right? And during this time of need and everything like that, people who are on SNAP, 50% of them work, right? This is hard enough for them. And a lot of them are, you know, single moms with kids who are just trying to make ends meet. And so any of these things that we can do, you know, we're here to help.
Can I ask just one question? I'll open up to the legislature too, because I want them to speak as well. But so coordinating United Way possibly with gift cards, you would coordinate with social services to determine how to get those directly to the SNAP recipients through the food pantries.
They have the ability to get messages out to the SNAP recipients, in which case they can direct them to like a link. And through the link, they can apply for a gift card, and at the end of every day, we could send that list to DSS, and they could formally approve the distribution of that gift card to that family, so we can make sure that they're on the list. Because the other thing that we had is there is now a change in SNAP and who qualifies for SNAP. And so they would have the most updated information. We can't just go by who has a card, because we don't know if the card is still valid.
I'll open it up to the legislature. And I don't really want to hear from Cornell Cooperative as well, before we open up the floor.
Sure. I mean, as you know, our Bountiful Meals program has has fed an enormous amount of people outside of outside of the food pantries. And just to echo what Faith had said, it is a third of the population, and it also is depending on the food pantry, whether or not it's self-select or if it's just a bag that's already been bagged for you, it may not be applicable to all in the household. So part of what we have done and what we can continue to do if the legislature feels appropriate is we have the connections with the farmers that can actually secure fresh produce, meat, dairy, and eggs, and we can also help direct that directly to the SNAP recipient. So it would be a pass-through. Basically, we would again put money back into the local economy through the agriculture community, and then in turn be able to provide nutrient-dense, fresh, hyper-local, nutrient-dense foods to SNAP recipients. So we're happy to do that. I'm happy to support whatever decisions are made.
Good evening, I'm Marissa O'Leary, I'm the director of Putnam CAP. For those of you who may not be familiar with our organization, we provide services to low-income community members throughout Putnam County. We do have a food pantry and soup kitchen program. My program is unique in that we qualify all individuals that receive services from us, so they do have to provide documentation to register with us, that they reside in Putnam County, proof of their household composition, and proof of their household income, which needs to be at or below 200% of the federal poverty level. And we do require that individuals accessing services recertify with us once a year. So we service approximately 400 families. That's an unduplicated number each month through our food pantry program. And when they come in to register with us and when they recertify, we screen them to see what other services they're receiving. And about 50% of our clients are SNAP recipients. So funding could be used to supplement what we need to purchase those nutrient-dense items, or we would be open to being part of some kind of gift card distribution, and again, working with DSS to verify that those are in fact SNAP recipients. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'll open it up to the legislature. Does anyone have any? Legislator Crowley?
I think it's a wonderful thing that everybody's here and what you guys do. I got to work with Second Chance Foods over the weekend, and I realized how vast they share the food. So I think that, to me, we're Putnam County Legislature. So I want to make sure that Putnam County families are receiving it, because that's something that we need to take care of first. We take care of it first. And I appreciate what all of these agencies do far and wide, but I think the cohesion with DSS is something that means a lot to make sure that we're taking care of the seniors who were very, very nervous last week at their luncheon. And as you said, we saw the food that was coming in at the drive. It's the same kind of food. It's pasta, rice, canned vegetables, canned fruit, that type of thing. I mean, it's not a whole lot of variety. There's not a whole lot there. There is dignity that really comes into it, and being able to choose and pick a little bit and feel not sit down. I think there's a lot to it. So I appreciate all of your efforts, and I'm on board with it, and I think it's a great initiative and effort.
So before I take another, I just want to, because Martha Elder was unable to make it here this evening, she's the executive director for Second Chance Foods. I just want to read into the record the email that she sent, and then I'll take the next. She said, "Dear members of the legislature, I apologize that I am unable to attend this evening's meeting. I do want to express my appreciation for your attention to the urgent food insecurity created by the SNAP crisis, for your consideration of an additional $150,000 in funding for hunger relief. I am heartened to see both the county executive and the legislature respond so swiftly and thoughtfully to the needs of this county's residents. This leadership and commitment make a real difference for the families and individuals who are struggling at this time. With gratitude, Martha Elder, and she's the director of Second Chance Foods." And with that, I'll
Thank you, Chairwoman Sayegh. I have a question. This came about from a memo I sent the day after we adopted our budget. It occurred to me that Legislator Birmingham had submitted a request which we approved and put into the 2026 budget for $150,000 to address food insecurity. So of course the next day I realized we have an issue right now, and I submitted a request, and I want to thank every one of my colleagues for signing on to the memo. They all signed on, we're unanimous in this. My question is $150, I threw out $150,000 because that's what legislator Birmingham.
How much money do you have?
It's actually got to be the other way around. You have to tell us.
$600,000 is how much SNAP is on the month.
But if SNAP is, let's say the shutdown ends tomorrow, and in a couple of weeks SNAP comes back, will they replenish what was lost? Will they retroactively replenish it?
That's what
You
they're
know,
saying, yeah, that's just what.
Okay, so at the end of the game, no money should be lost from the federal side of things. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is $150,000 enough to patch things?
So I'll just tell you briefly what we're doing in my office. So we have SNAP benefits anywhere from $25 up to $1,400 per month per household. So we have started calling the 2,200 households, find out what's going on in the home. We can cross-check that with what benefit is remaining from prior months. The people that we are talking to are very open and honest with us. If they need assistance immediately, we're getting it to them. We did have a very generous donor of grocery store gift cards Monday. So that really, all of those have already gone out. So that coupled with the women behind me, we have gotten to who needed immediate assistance. Is $150,000 necessary for the next 6 weeks? I don't know, I can't tell you that because there's so many different factors going into each household because not everybody is going to need the same thing.
Well, I want to say thank you to all of you for coming here, and we're here to support you, and you're here to take care of the people who need it the most. So we're all thankful for you.
Senator Montgomery.
Question. I think to Legislator Elmer's point, I think this originally came about because the original intention was to get this to the food pantries in each of our communities. So each of the 6 towns, I really think there's only 5 food pantries throughout Putnam.
There's 11.
11.
There's 11.
Not official though. That's interesting. It's not, you know.
Go on the county website, there's 11.
Okay, great. So, you know, depending on how many in each town. So my question is, now that we're doing this structure, and we do have a representative from a food pantry here today, Kiko Latu, I don't know if you want to speak on this or you have any questions regarding food pantries. This is going to go directly to SNAP recipients. You know, we all know, I know in Phillipstown, that food pantry is for Phillipstown residents. They allow anybody in and they have to be vetted and they fill out a form. And if it's somebody from outside of town, they direct them and they give them the resources on where to go. So it's not going to anybody outside of Putnam. And I guess my question is, do we need to end food pantries? I get it, the food pantries aren't necessarily just for SNAP recipients, but I have to say, let's face it, it's very difficult to register and go through the process to get SNAP benefits. There's a lot of people that are falling through the cracks that have to go to food pantries. And I know that's not our intention here tonight. You know, we're just trying to make up and correct the federal government's lack of cooperation with funding SNAP. But I want to also consider the time of year and those populations that fall through the cracks. It's a difficult system to get through. And believe me, anybody that gets through it desperately needs it.
And I'm certainly not here to take money away from our food pantries. And I've been saying for the past week, we need to supplement them and we need to provide the gift cards for the individuals to go do their own shopping. So,
okay. Yeah, and I guess, you know, my initial question, but I think it was answered. How does the United Way, Cornell Cooperative, and Putnam Cap directly fill the needs of getting food to the people?
Okay. So for the United Way, if you are a new vendor working with the county, in other words, you've not had a contract with the county before, it is onerous to then become a vendor for the county. So it takes quite some time before the county would then be able to cut a check for the contract that would be, like if you get awarded tonight, they may not be able to see the check for quite some time. So because we have a we have a contract with with the county, we're in the system already, and we are already in the grant-making business, so we have the relationship. So that was really, if we got the approval, I can have checks to some of these food pantries by next week.
And is there a plan? Do we have?
Well, that's what we're here tonight for. But you were asking, like, what was my, like, that was, I was supposed to be able to help break through the red tape. But still make sure everybody followed the rules.
I still think that we can establish those contracts with food pantries and as well. I mean, there's nothing.
I'm here because I'm a Putnam County resident. I'm not here because, like, I'm trying to take the money away from any of these great organizations. So if I can be a help, that's fantastic. If not, I can go home and have dinner time.
I think you're misunderstanding my intention here. I'm not sure where this is going, but
I'm saying I have no problem if you want to give the grants directly to the food pantries.
I appreciate that. Thank you. You can move on.
Anyone else? Let's have a
This will be distributed throughout the county, correct?
Putnam County.
Throughout the whole county.
Yes. We have it broken down by community, by town, so we know.
So they're gonna have to approach you, or are you gonna reach out to them?
Well, the information will be on our website, and we're calling every single recipient of SNAP. It's taking a while to get approvals for doing it.
So if I may ask a question, we do have a representative from the food pantry here. She can comment or ask a question, because the whole intention of this was, it came up because we were addressing food pantries. Thank you. That's how it started.
Thank you so much for your interest in this issue and for your prompt action. I applaud you. My name is Kirsty Lautaro-Kiko. I coordinate the Phillipstown Food Pantry, and your question was really important. How much? I don't have the answer to that either, but just in terms of context, I want to say that we're seeing a 30% increase from the number of clients we were serving last year, and that was before the SNAP cut. A number, particularly of our seniors who've come in, have been asking about SNAP benefits. We have been connecting them to the Office of Senior Services, who promised to help them through the process. So when we talk about SNAP, that's one piece of it. But I think there have been a number of shocks over the last year. I think there are a lot of people that are struggling, some who are not necessarily on SNAP but may be in a similar situation. So again, thank you for your concern, and if there is a number that we can refer the folks that come to the food pantry for SNAP benefits, I will personally post it and make sure everybody who comes to our door sees it. We do want to connect them with any resources that are available. So thank you.
Thank you. And anyone else who has this one? And then I'll come back to you.
I think that brings up an important, this is all part of this discussion, that brings up an important issue regarding SNAP benefits. And the concerns I've heard from constituents on SNAP, and sometimes the difficulty in getting through the system. Do we need to consider adding personnel?
So we are prepared for and ready just to work and to pull DSS workers from other units within the DSS umbrella. We've been talking to Commissioner Carlin about an overtime budget and talking to you guys about that, so we're trying to figure that out now.
Understanding, the stresses you guys are under and dealing with certain populations and the time of year that it is, and not, knowing that overtime is available, but not wanting to completely stress our employees out either. If that needs to be considered in adding staff, please let us know.
It's been a very difficult week in obviously across the state, so we're fielding calls and people are upset, they're frustrated, they're angry, and they're concerned that they can't feed their family. So thank you for even having this conversation with us.
So will we, if I may, have an opportunity to be presented with the plan, like what the intentions are? I know we're having a general conversation now about possibilities of how this money will be distributed. Could you let us know how this is, like Faith Ann said about handing food vouchers to to SNAP benefits through them directly, or?
We will absolutely
have a
keep
plan?
them informed, we'll have a plan. For the donation that we received on Monday, for example, everything is cross-checked and logged, so we know which household got how much. So everything is documented and logged, absolutely.
And if I can one more, I just want to thank that many constituents have reached out with concern, and some have been very generous in their efforts, and everybody, not only just government people, government workers and officials are working on this, our whole community is working on this and really stepping up the way we always do in Putnam.
And along those lines, we have our Commissioner of Finance here this evening. I'm wondering if there is a need for money to be placed in a line specifically for social services to address people that call in that need emergency services or emergency SNAP benefits, since the Department of Social Services deals with them directly. I wouldn't want to take anything away from the plan that was put before us tonight, but I think another part of this plan needs to be resources available for DSS, maybe $25,000 to $50,000 for them to have a line. If they use it, then it's going towards the SNAP benefits. If not, we'll just roll back into the budget at the end of the year. Is there a line that we can use in the budget somewhere where we can take money out of general contingencies specifically for the DSS department for the
In terms of using it on what?
SNAP
No,
benefits?
I understand that, but in terms of what, overtime?
Or gift card, say a gift card for a constituent, or a Putnam County, one of the 3,000 SNAP recipients who can't be reached through a food pantry or plan that's set up. I should put it out because I don't know if that's possible or not.
I'm trying to think of even what we're talking about in terms of, are you asking about?
Like a gift
How
card.
are you asking about additional goods and services?
So, where the director or the commissioner of social services or her SNAP team, I'll call them, can get a $50 gift card for food for SNAP.
I got it, but before we do all that, I think we have to see how this plays out first. Because there's even more coming. We're working with OSR now. We'll be coming to you with something else probably in the near future. So before we start just throwing even more money at us, I think we deal with this first.
Take the plan that we have before us and
right, and then see what happens. If for all we know, the shutdown could end next week.
Right.
Depends on which television show you watch.
We can update our health committee, and then maybe if there's emergencies.
And then if there's further things that need to be done, certainly address it then.
Commissioner Montgomery.
While you're at it, we all know, and I think it's a great conversation to have while these agencies are here as well, because they're directly affected by this too. The application process has been delayed. And I know we're gonna have that conversation in the health committee meeting, but that's a few weeks away. It's already been delayed. So I would ask how can we partner with these organizations here and that as well, and what are we doing as a county to prepare for that?
We're talking about a plan to prepare for that. So the 24-25 season, we assisted approximately 900 households, totaling about $1 million. So again, there are daily state DSS commissioner calls where we're getting updates and we're kind of brainstorming with each other on how to address these issues. And we are having the conversation, obviously, between the two of us and the county executive.
Right, there's a whole host of issues because e-payments are direct payments to vendors. You gotta make sure you don't get caught in de-gift of public funds kind of issues. So there's a lot there.
I think our colleagues here and the county executive could have conversations with the public utility organizations to see what they can do to step up and help. And that would be our job to do that, and that's what we can do. But also put aside emergency funds for that.
Legislator Allen.
Unfortunately, government moves at the speed of a snail with a broken leg and no crutches. And my concern is, Commissioner, would you want any flexibility to alter this? These three organizations are wonderful. I have complete faith that they're going to be of help. But if things happen, I want to make sure that there's no delays in getting these benefits to people. So that's what my original thing was. Are you happy with this distribution, or would you like to have the ability to modify the distribution of the same total of funds or more funds once things start being implemented?
I think that we have, by the time this money gets out, we'll have 6 weeks left in the year, and it's going to be enough to get us through the end of the calendar year, in my opinion. In saying that I have some access to some funds within DSS that we can convince them to let me pull on if needed.
And again, we're going to be playing for OSR funds. They have some certain funds we're working with them on, so I think we start here and move on. I don't think.
Legislator Crowley.
Through the chair, I'm with Nancy. I've been working with some constituents in a different capacity with the heat issues and with Sayegh, and we've been getting notes for veterans, seniors, people with kids. It's been working. So if anybody needs help with that, I'm more than willing to help and reach out if that can take some pressure off you.
Tell Sayegh to drop the rates.
I've said that enough times that they don't listen, but
it's not necessarily the electric, it's the oil delivery companies that we're really struggling with, because they are private entities, and
yeah, okay,
that's my biggest concern.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because I do know at the state level they are.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyone else?
Thank you. Thank you all for the information. Thanks for coming out.
So, we have a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. Let me have the public, I'm sorry. We have the public come out this evening. If anyone from the public would like to comment on this, on this issue. Okay. With that, I will ask all in favor.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 6A. This is an approval for a budgetary amendment for the health department. Chair. This is an approval for the health department for revenue from tobacco and vaping fines. These funds will be used to further support education and prevention activities related to the use of tobacco and vaping products. This is in the amount of $8,075, zero fiscal impact. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item 6B. This is an approval for a budgetary amendment for finance. This is for legal aid for 18B. This is in the amount of $200,000. This is to fund the mandated legal services to indigent persons pursuant to county law. Zero fiscal impact. Excuse me. In 2025, there's a fiscal impact of $100,000. This is a mandated program. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda item 6C. This is an approval for a budgetary amendment for the Department of General Services. This is for leased vehicle expenses in the amount of $20,261. This is to account for payment received for lease equity and to cover leased vehicles expenses in county departments. Zero fiscal impact. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
And item 6D, this is an approval for a budgetary amendment for the Bureau of Emergency Services. This is for the SFY 2025 Next Generation 911 for the Bureau of Emergency Services. This is a state grant in the amount of $1,515,197. Discussion. Legislator Montgomery.
Bless you.
Bless you, Matt. Just thank you to the Department of Emergency Services and their partnership with the state, especially for this generous grant. It does a lot to strengthen the communications in our emergency services and keeping our first responders safer. So it's much appreciated. Thank you.
And this grant requires no matching county funds. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda item 6E. This is an approval for a budgetary amendment for the Sheriff's Office for the Police Traffic Safety Grant Program. This is in the amount, this is the Buckle Up Grant. This is in the amount of $24,000 to be used for overtime, other equipment, training, and education, and overtime to run the Buckle Up Grant Program. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda item 6F. This is an approval for a budgetary amendment for DPW for the risk manager vehicle accident claim reimbursement for insurance recoveries. This is insurance recoveries in the amount of $5,185 going into the DPW road machinery automotive expense. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda item 6G, this is an approval for a budgetary amendment for DPW for the Commissioner of Finance to correct budget lines on Resolution 262 of 2025. This is simply to correct budget lines in this resolution. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda item 6H. This is an approval for a fund transfer for social services to reappropriate funds for agreement with the Sheriff's Department. This is decreasing contracts in the amount of $26,240 going back to the chargeback lines to reserve fiscal impact. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Agenda item 6I. This is an approval for the semi-annual mortgage tax report, April 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2025. This is the property tax that are sent back to the towns. I'll read through the amounts. The town of Carmel, they'll be receiving $581,411.86. Town of Kent, $224,647.02. Town of Patterson, $192,505.93. The town of Phillipstown, the village of Cold Spring, $16,592.64. The village of Nelsonville, $4,727.65. Towns outside, $198,270.54. The town of Putnam Valley, the amount of $223,381.72. In the town of Southeast, the village of Brewster, $9,026.25. Towns outside Southeast, $297,570.47. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda item number 7 is other business, which we've already discussed. Agenda item number 8 is recognition of the public on agenda items. Anyone from the public wishing to comment on any items on the agenda, please come up to the podium, state your name and the town in which you reside. Okay. Agenda item number 9 is recognition of legislators. Anyone from the legislature wishing to be recognized? Legislator Goldman.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Yesterday was election day, and I would like to thank everyone for coming out and voting. It was a very good election day. Many people actually voted yesterday. I would also like to congratulate Crowley for getting reelected on this board. We also have some people in the audience who
I want to thank for running and also congratulate them. Thank you. This body is going to look differently next year. We're going to have 2 new individuals sitting in this body, and the tone of things should change at that time, and I'm looking forward to next year. You know, it's very hard to run for office, whether you win or whether you lose. You put yourself out into the public, and people don't know you, but they criticize you. You did something 25 years ago, and someone will say, aha, you picked your nose in high school. Okay, that's what comes up, and you gotta have thick skin when this stuff happens, and just shake it off. I know it's very difficult, but it's the reality of this business, of politics and government. Thanksgiving's coming. Safe Thanksgiving, enjoy it. Be thankful for what you have. Also Veterans Day. Thank the veterans for giving us the opportunity to vote and live the lifestyle that we live. Without our veterans, we would not be living the way we live. Thank you very much.
Well, Bill stole my thunder. I just really love that anybody steps up to run for office, and I want to thank all of you and congratulate the winners and thank anybody. Every year when it ends, you know, I think about what I went through maybe the months before up until the week before, where I fall apart whether I'm running or trying to get somebody elected, and I just want to go into hiding because it gets really difficult at the end. And my hope always is that we can clean up our elections, that they become more civil, that we can behave for the benefit of people that we want to serve, and not spend so much money on just taking each other down. So again, it's really hard when that happens. It seems to be happening more and more. More on a local level, like I've never seen before, and I'm really hoping that all goes away and I can come back to just wanting to run for the people. And really sincere thanks to all you who stepped up to run.
Legislator Crowley.
Well, there's that. And thank you, everybody, because it wasn't an easy year. I wanted to speak on Veterans Day, November 11th. I just wanted to remind people to take a moment to thank a veteran and teach your children the meaning of service and reflect on the freedoms we enjoy because of their sacrifices. Whether it's attending a local ceremony, placing a flag, or simply reaching out to a veteran to say thank you, your support means more than you know. This freedom isn't free, and today we honor those who paid the price. God bless our veterans, their families, and the United States of America. And happy Thanksgiving.
Legislator Yonke.
Yeah, I don't think we should forget, we lost a really great man in Putnam County just a couple of weeks ago, Judge John Sweeney. I was lucky enough to know him for over 35 years. I actually got to witness him as a judge in this courtroom. There was a real estate case years ago that I had interest in. It dealt with appraisals, assessments, and land rights. And Judge Sweeney presided over the case. It was really, really interesting. He did me the honor of swearing me in literally right here 9 years ago when I was first elected. He really was a great man. I saw him like the day or two before he got sick. And he was looking fine. He was telling me how fit he was and how well he felt. But he was a great guy. We lost him, and you know, my heart goes out for to his family because they lost a great father, a great husband, and we all lost a great friend in Putnam County.
Thank you. Legislator.
I'd like to thank Legislator Yonke, who initiated it, and all of my colleagues for coming up with a concept that will give real meaningful tax relief to all owner-occupied homes. We've taken the first step. This plan needs to be solidified, and there are some hurdles, but I think that we're going to be able to get through this. So what we're talking about is providing $200 of tax relief in one form or another to every owner-occupied home. I got a couple of calls from constituents regarding historic tax relief, and they pointed something out which never came in any of our discussions. And that was that many, if not most, of the people in Putnam County who have mortgages, they escrow their taxes. So that $25 on a $500,000 home, they'll never see it. The bank is not going to change the mortgage payment. So it's really not going to affect people. This $200 is going to be something that people can actually touch, feel. I'm going to use the word tangible. So thank you to all my colleagues for taking the first step. And again, Legislator Yankee for the initiative.
Anyone else? Legislator Russo.
So I want to thank everybody who ran in this election season. I wish everybody the best. Whether you win or lose, you put yourself out there. I myself know how tough it is, but I'm proud to be sitting here representing not only my town, but the entire county of Putnam. So thank you. With that is Veterans Day next week. Putnam Lake does do a very nice ceremony at our monument, and then later in the afternoon, Patterson does it. I'm proud that ever since for our tiny little community, it's always very well attended, and for that I'm honored to always support our veterans. And then I want to thank Legislator Crowley for organizing a food drive this past weekend. I drove all the way across the county to participate and take the food, and as well as Father Simon to bring stuff to St. John's Church. So again, I thank you for that, and I'm happy to have participated because there is a lot of food insecurity and we need to help everybody out there. So thank you.
Thank you. I think I'll ride the coattails of everyone who spoke before me. I'd just like to congratulate all those who ran for office, win or lose, and our elected officials need to step up their game and do a good job for our constituents. We're all on the election. We'll be out for re-election another time. So anyway, I just like to congratulate everyone on those. And I'd also like to state that the Knights of Columbus is having a Let's Snap Together to help our local families. They are collecting food items, non-perishable, or grocery store gift cards. This is going to be from 12 p.m. Thursday, November 20th through 6 p.m. November 23rd. This is going to help SNAP recipients, non-perishable or grocery store gift cards. And it looks like the drop-off is going to be the Knights of Columbus, 10 Fair Street, Carmel, New York, 10512, right here in Carmel Hamlet. All donations should be dropped off here at the Knights of Columbus. And then we'll go directly to our Putnam County Social Services staff for distribution to SNAP recipients. And with that, I will make a motion to adjourn. I have a second. Second. All in favor?